No video sound? Really? Hello? Oh, wait a minute. Okay.
Case like many other low and slow simmered.
I just realized why.
Its inclination.
I just realized why. Let me start that for. Let me restart
Hello.
that for everybody.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back
Sorry.
to You Can Cook. My name is Wesley, and this is a show where we
That was entirely my fault, chat. I forgot to reactivate audio sources after I was tweaking some stuff on OBS. My bad.
are slowly cooking our way through all of the food from my childhood. Today we're diving back into our series dedicated to classic Filipino cuisine with our very
God, that
best
looks so
shot
good.
at maybe our most requested Filipino dish.
I want some
which
chicken
is a
adobo right
chicken
now, man.
adobo.
Come on.
For those unfamiliar,
Ano kaya
adobo
yun?
is a method of slow cooking and simmering with roots in both Spanish and Filipino cuisine, where a protein is marinated and braised in a soy sauce and vinegar-based marinade
Soy sauce
with
and vinegar,
a few
yep.
aromatic spices, then left to simmer over low heat for however long you feel like.
Oh.
Today we'll be making use
About an
of
hour,
some
an hour and a
skin
half.
on bone-in chicken
At least according to the
drumsticks,
recipe
which
I have.
think is not only going to yield us the juiciest piece of chicken as possible, but is also going to be the most traditional choice for our dish today.
It is the most traditional choice.
That said, though, I have seen some very compelling arguments that braised chicken skin is overrated, which I don't necessarily disagree with.
debatable.
So we'll get to all of that
Debatable.
shortly as well.
Debatable.
In any case, like many other low and slow simmered dishes, due to its inclination towards meal prepping and feeding large families,
Yeah.
chicken adobo in particular has many nostalgic ties to Filipinos all over because
Same.
I'm sure
Same right
everyone's
here,
Filipino
yes,
grandma
uh-huh.
makes a far superior version of this dish. So
I
let's
literally
try not
grew
to
up
screw
on
this
this.
one up, Wesley.
I literally grew
Okay,
up on
so
this.
Let's get into it.
This is like my childhood on a fucking plate right here, chat. Oh my god. Oh, let's go. Manok. Adobo manok.
Okay, so kicking things off here first, we're starting off with a couple of aromatic veggies to pair with our chicken today. As with any slow simmered and braised dish, you can throw really whatever veggies that you want into the pot, but since a big element of a chicken adobo is the braising sauce that's left behind, some aromatic veggies to go along with this sauce is going to be a nice addition today.
Oh yeah,
So, to
let's
that
go.
end, I'm starting off by crushing and mincing 4 cloves of garlic, followed by large dicing half of a single medium white onion as well.
Okay.
We'll be deglazing our chicken fond with these to make our braising sauce in a moment, which should
Yeah.
make for a rich and flavorful sauce.
I tried about 5 to 10
in our
minutes of
final
system
dish
and
as
memory,
well.
and it does just seem to run smoother. Hell yeah.
Next here are my
Nice.
chicken drumsticks, about a pound's worth today. We're going to be
It's a
marinating
lot of
these in
drumsticks.
essentially the
Holy
same
Jesus,
sauce
Wesley.
mixture as our final
Let's
braising
go.
sauce, which is because a chicken adobo is iconically made from an extremely simple braising and marinating sauce, which is essentially very simply just soy sauce and vinegar.
Yup.
So this is 8 tablespoons or a half cup of soy sauce here to start, followed by 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar.
That's
Finally,
solid.
rounding this out, I'm adding in some peppercorn here for some aromatics to our marinade. Then we're gonna attempt to toss this to combine before realizing that bone-in drumsticks are a lot harder to toss than boneless chicken thighs. So we're putting this into a Ziploc bag
Yeah.
instead to make things a little bit easier.
Should have done that
Then
from
we're
the start,
setting this
Wesley.
aside to marinate for 30 minutes while I assemble my braising sauce.
There you go. Oh god.
All
yeah.
right, so
this
as
is
I
bringing me back,
mentioned
chat.
earlier, our braising sauce is essentially
bringing
the
me
same
back.
combination of elements as our marinade, with one small but I think fairly significant addition. This is another 4 tablespoons of soy sauce to start, followed by 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and a single tablespoon of rice vinegar. Then finally, now I know that this does not come from Filipino cuisine, and we're probably going to anger some folks with this, but this is a single tablespoon of dark soy sauce, which is going to be a
Ooh.
little bit richer and deeper in umami than our regular soy sauce that we
Ooh,
added earlier.
you know,
and
honestly-
I promise it's going to work really well in a slow braise.
Yeah, you know, honestly, I
know
kind of
it's
like that
culturally
addition.
out of place, but I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway because it's going to taste good.
Like I said at the beginning, if you ask
Over
10
on the
different
stove, we're gonna
Filipino
use
cooks,
our wok to first sear
like I
our
said at the beginning, chat, if you ask 10 different Filipino cooks on how to make chicken adobo, you will get 10 different answers. And albeit every single one of them will insist their version is correct, but literally there are endless variations you can do with chicken adobo, and all of them, there's a lot of nostalgia for me. There's a lot of nostalgia and a lot of good memories attached to this dish because this is literally shit I grew up on. If I can teach you one Tagalog phrase, masarap, masarap, which means it's delicious. That is the best way to describe chicken adobo to me.
Our chicken drumsticks to get some fond going. Then we're gonna remove that chicken, deglaze, and use the same wok for our low and slow braise. This is gonna make our dish today
nice.
a one-pot meal, which I am always a fan of.
Yeah.
I've got my wok heating up here as hot as possible. Then I'm adding 4 tablespoons of peanut oil and, as always, long out for that nice non-stick surface. Then going into our wok here first are our chicken legs, which we're going to sear for about 2 minutes per side before removing. Now, I think it's also worth mentioning at this point that the skin on our chicken here is covered in fat. So when we go and sear this, our skin is going to help us render this wonderfully fatty and juicy fond.
Yes, let's go.
Whether or not our far superior chicken skin fond is worth the trade-off of having lumps of chewy, soggy braised chicken skin in our final dish is still left to be determined, but more on this in a moment. Going into my wok here next are my aromatic veggies. This is my garlic going in for about 15 seconds until nice and fragrant, followed by my onions, which I'm giving a toss to for another 1 minute until slightly translucent. Then next, here's my braising sauce going in, which I'm using to deglaze the fond off of the bottom of my wok so that we may let it combine with our braising mixture.
Yeah, let's go.
Then finally, here's my chicken going back into the wok, plus about a half cup of water and a couple of bay leaves to round things out. Then we're gonna let this simmer for a minimum of 30 minutes, or really as long as you want. Personally, I think that the sweet spot here is about 2 to 3 hours. But if you want to let this simmer all goddamn day, you can just keep adding water as needed, and you can absolutely do that.
Yes.
The point is that the longer that this simmers, the better that those flavors are going to develop.
Oh, absolutely.
In any case, once we're ready to
fucking
eat, I'm
go.
letting this braising sauce reduce until a thick and luxurious sauce begins to form. Like
oh, baby,
so.
look at that. Look
Then
at that sauce, chat. Look at that. Look at it. Oh, it's so delicious.
We're ready to eat.
Okay,
so as far as old school grandma dishes go, this one pretty much checks off all of the boxes. It's easy to make in large quantities, which makes it ideal for feeding large families. It's relatively simple to assemble, there's pretty minimal cleanup, and most importantly, it has a long simmer, which means that over the course of that long simmer, your house is rapidly going to begin smelling like delicious home-cooked goodness and nostalgia.
You goddamn right it will.
I ended up letting this one cook for about an hour and a half, which yielded this incredibly tender, nearly falling off the bone quality to our chicken. My personal favorite part of this dish, though, is the braising sauce, which is deeply rich and filled with umami from our soy
real
sauces,
fucking good,
and also thick and savory from our rendered chicken fat as well. As for the braised chicken skin, I'm gonna let you all decide for yourselves whether or not it's worth using a skin on drumstick here.
It's worth it.
I personally think that
in my opinion, it's worth it.
That skin is a critical part of the braising sauce, but I also don't think that it adds much to the final dish either, though. Chicken skin works best when crispy and deep fried, so when it's braised like this, it's just kind of floppy and chewy, and I usually just end up picking it out, but you know, you do you.
I'm so hungry now. Oh my god.
Okay, so that's it, everyone. I hope.
Oh, that's so good. Holy Jesus, that's amazing. I need that back in my life right now. I want to make some chicken adobo now. Are you kidding me? Good God. That's it. I need to make chicken adobo again at some point because holy crap.